What's going on, guys? It's Steven. We're back with the RX-8, and today we're going to be attempting to roll the fenders on this sucker. So let's get into it. So if y'all haven't seen the other video, we got some new wheels on the RX-8, and as you can tell, they are pretty wide for this thing. They stick out pretty good amount here. So we went to a car show yesterday. I've been trying to drive it very little, because I knew I was going to have rubbing issues with these tires and wheel setup before I rolled the fenders. But went to a car show yesterday. I had the car was full. I had my son, my wife, and then Corey all in the car, and on the way back we actually hit quite a few bumps and was having some rubbing issues. I don't know if you guys are going to be able to see on camera, but the tire here, you can tell, let's see, you can see that little groove there where it kind of rubbed. Like right here's a little piece of tire. So, and then the body here, you can tell where that little piece was slapping the side and putting black marks all over. So I've already got cut into the tire a little bit. Not too happy about that, but it doesn't look like it hurt the integrity of the tire any. Tire should be all right. Same thing on the other side. I've got a little groove on it as well. So hopefully this rolling of the fender here is going to fix that for now. I plan on doing the Lions Kit over fenders. I don't know how long it's going to take me to come up with the funds for that, but figure the temporary roll on the fenders will be a good temporary fix. Hopefully save my tires from being demolished from the fenders. So I don't know, let's get this thing on the rack, get these fender liners removed, get the wheels off, all that jazz, and get to rolling. All right, guys, I got the wheels off, got it in air, all that jazz. So let's, I'm probably gonna be focusing more on the rear in this video. I don't know that necessarily that I'll get to the front, if I'll even roll the front at all. My main issue has been the rear. They're rubbing. From what I can see, it does not look like my front has rubbed, but could be a future problem that I just don't have yet. If you look here, I don't know if the camera can see it, but you can see that black little line on the edge here. All that is rubber material. So it's been chewing into my tire pretty good. So hopefully this fender roller will take care of that. But I'm gonna have to take, pretty sure in the other videos I've watched, they've taken the fender liner out to get it out of the way. There's like a short plastic one here, a short plastic one here, and then the felt one that goes all the way around. So I'm gonna get that off here and get that out of the way, and then start setting up the fender roller. I haven't ever used this fender roller. I got it off Amazon. It was like, I think I ended up spending 60 bucks on it, and it was disassembled when I got it. Let me set it down here so y'all can see it. So 60 bucks on Amazon. So it's got these little things here that are for like the lug nuts. Whenever you put that, bolt that to the car. So I've never done this before. We're about to find out if I can do it. I have a feeling I can. It looks pretty easy. So it's just a matter of figuring out the angles and pressure. And I do have a heat gun. They do say use a heat gun to heat up the paint and the metal to make it easier, more malleable, keep things from cracking. Because the last thing you want to do is sit here and roll your fenders and then crack all the paint on the inside, and then have issues with rusting out later because you cracked all your paint and your sealers and stuff. So let's get this fender liner out of here. show you this here. So the felt is behind these two wires. I could go through and like unbolt all this stuff and then try to feed the wires back through, but since it's just felt, I'm just gonna cut it and that way pull this past those wires. This is a little bolt that I was talking about that just spins, so I'm just gonna pull it past just like that, and then maybe fight that bolt once I go back, because ideally once I roll the fenders, I'll put the felt back up in here and maybe trim it if I need to, because I don't want to leave all this exposed. So I would like to throw the fender liner back up in there, so I don't want to absolutely destroy it in this process. So let's make that little cut there, finish pulling this out, and get on the road. Alright, if y'all are curious, that's what the underneath the fender liner looks like. So, nothing fancy. So my main objective here is to fold this lip and then kind of push it out. So, let's figure out how this fender roller bolts up, and once I get that bolted up, then I'll apply some heat and go from there. Ooh, she matches up pretty good. So I got it all bolted up. I will note that mine is a manual and I usually pull my e-brake. I had to make sure I didn't pull the e-brake, because in order to actually do the rolling, like the side to side, you have to have the axle unlocked. So obviously if you're automatic, you don't have to worry about that. But so I got it all bolted up, mounted. So I'm probably gonna put a little bit of lube on these threads just in case. And then I gotta find an extension cord for my heat gun. I got the heat gun here. Apply some heat to everything, get it all nice and warm and malleable. All right, so we're back. I got everything that I need. I'm gonna have to move this out of the way, apply some heat, and then probably adjust this and then put pressure on this piece. Try to work it in. Hopefully don't crack my paint. We'll see how this goes. So let's move this sucker out of the way. Got my handy dandy heat gun. And like I said, I've never done this, so I don't know how hot to get this. It's just kind of based on feel, I guess. I don't know. I'm sure there's probably like a proper temperature or something that you're supposed to get to, but I know that metal gets more malleable as it heats up, so I want it pretty warm. Same way with the paint, but I don't want it too hot that I'm just like burning through everything either. So I'm trying to feel, see how warm the actual panel itself is getting, and whenever I feel like it's warm enough, I'm going to start adjusting this and put pressure on it. We'll see. That's nice and warm. So what I really don't know is how to get this at the right angle, pressure. Kind of already feel like my head, it's already a pretty good angle, so. So, all right. I don't know if y'all can see that, but it looks like the arch is more up here. So as I bring the roller over, I get more pressure. So even just this little angle right here, I'm already folding that lip. So basically, I'm gonna have to work this part up here a little more. I'm gonna have to, and then just kind of push. So, because this isn't that big of a deal. The wheel doesn't hit here, but I'm obviously gonna bring it over. Probably, I don't know. Probably about where I'm at, maybe a little further, but I'll have to back it off because I'm already bending it pretty far right here. And I don't have any heat right there, so I'll need to put some heat on this side. But, I don't know, let's go. Let's just keep working. So, I've been doing some rolling, obviously, as you guys have seen. But I don't know how well you guys can see all of this. I know it's gonna be hard to see the angle as to which I've pushed this stuff, but like right here you can see the stock. Well then obviously as I've come up, and then this is even further down inside. So I've managed to push that lip pretty far in there. I think I'm gonna have to change my roller angle, like put it more this way so it's putting pressure out, kind of finish flattening this out and pushing the fender out more. So I'll have to loosen this, extend the arm, and then I can use more of this to push that out and finish flattening that lip inside there. So I'm gonna apply a little bit more heat, move this out of the way, apply a little bit more heat, readjust it, and get it at a slightly different angle, and then keep rolling. My roller doesn't like to roll, if you guys haven't noticed. That lip is all the way folded now. So, lip is completely folded down inside. I tried pressing out on the fender a little bit. I don't know if you'll be able to tell, but we hopefully that fixes it. I also thought about, I know whenever people do the Lions kit, they end up like trimming this little piece here. I thought about going ahead and doing that, trimming that little tab. I don't know that it would actually rub on that, but kind of like a preventative thing, you know. So I think that's it. I think I'm going to do the other side like this, put it all back together and test drive it. So I'm not going to film the other side because it's just literally the exact same process. I don't know that I'm going to do the front yet. Maybe, since it was so easy. Just go ahead and roll that little bit of a lip, kind of put some pressure on it, just again preventative. So it was pretty easy, so I might just go ahead and knock it out while I got it in the air rather than doing it twice, you know. So all right, if I do, I won't record the other rear. If I do the front, you'll see me. All right guys, so passenger rear is done. I kind of screwed up a little bit, rushed it, obviously putting a little too much pressure, not enough heat. On the other side, I felt like I was getting a little too much heat because it was actually melting my wheel a little bit. I don't know, but I've done some adjustments on this to get this to where this rolls a little easier. So it rolls better now, but on the other side, I kind of wore a little spot in that wheel from where I think I just had a little too much heat in the metal and it was soaking into that plastic wheel. So, but here's where I messed up on this side. Yeah, there you go. You can see it right there. So I did crack my paint. Womp, womp, womp. So I am probably going to get some masking tape, kind of tape off, maybe sand this a little bit down a little bit. I don't know that I got any white over there. If anything, I'll just shoot some black because it is kind of the underside, so most people won't see it. And then I do believe I'm going to go ahead and roll my fronts. So I still got to get the fender liners out of the fronts. Fronts are going to be like this over. So just a bunch of little of those all the way around. And then this doesn't have as much of a lip. So like this lip is tiny, but preventative, you know. I don't want to ruin my tires. I just bought them, they're brand new. And I'd hate to spend $200 on another tire if I don't have to, if I can just roll the fenders and keep from messing up my tires. So and then I still got to put the rear, whenever I put the rear liners back in, I am going to put them back in. See what kind of, I don't know that I'll have to trim, but maybe look at it, see if there's any trimming that I need to do. Obviously I'll show you all that, so I'll get back with you all in a minute. Alright guys, I had the camera over there charging, didn't need it dying. While I was doing that, I went ahead and loosened up this fender liner. It was just, well, it was just a bunch of these push clips. A lot of them broke, so if you're gonna do this and you know you're got some mileage on your car, these things are fragile. I'm probably gonna have to get some more push clips to remount that, because on the back you don't got a whole lot exposed whenever that fender liner's out, but on the front has all kinds of stuff exposed. There's your headlight and then all of this. So definitely want to run a fender liner on the front, or else you're gonna have all kinds of issues. So I'll definitely be putting the fender liner back on the front. So, and like I said, the front lip here isn't very large. Let's see if we can focus this camera. Yeah, so I'm going to be pushing in some of these tabs, probably 2 of them, but the overall fender liner should hold, because there's still quite a few clips throughout that hold it. But roll this in. This should be pretty easy compared to the rear. There ain't much of a fold happening, so let's get that thing mounted up here and get to rolling. So it's kind of funny because factory, it looks like they've already got like rolled it, like this is flat and then this is kind of already rolled. So I'll probably roll this in a little bit more here and then just roll that flat. So not as much work as the back, so hopefully this goes a little easier. But let's get to applying some heat and then rolling the fender. Already messed up the front. So right there, got a crack. Like dang, already? So I don't know if I didn't get enough heat in it, but we'll go from here. Probably do the same thing that I had to do on the rear there and tape it off, which I didn't show y'all after I done that. Where the paint was cracked, I just kind of taped it off. As you can't see it from the outside, it just looks like, and I just kind of taped off right of like the underside and then painted black. So I sanded it down a little bit so it'd stick, but nothing, not a big problem, but just unfortunate. So probably gonna apply a little more heat here and then go back at it. This paint is not liking it, at least up here. I got a crack right there. Again, still on the, still looks like it's under enough that I can just kind of take where it chipped, sand it down, tape it off, paint it black. Really unfortunate. I don't like that, but what do you do? Just deal with it and go on. Like I said, the over fenders in the future, it's just, I don't know how far in the future. all rolled up in there. And then this cracked, so I'm just going to sand this down, tape it off along the edge here, tape it off along the edge so it's all on the other side, shoot black on that, keep it from rusting. So it's a little really unfortunate that it's cracking like that. I don't know why this side is being a little more of a pain than the others, or the front's being a little more pain than the other side. I don't know, it's because the panel's giving a little more, I don't know. It's folding really easy. Maybe I just need to be more careful because it is folding so easily that I need to apply a little less pressure and take a little more time. Maybe that would help, but trial by fire, my friend. So bam, I'm gonna go ahead and clean this up, take this off, do the other side, and then I'll get back with y'all whenever that's all right, guys. I got the front driver's side done now. This side went a lot better. I didn't have as much paint cracking, so I did a little bit slower, applied a little more heat, was a little more even about it. I didn't get it too hot, but I did like apply short bursts of heat, try to help that paint stay malleable. So if you see, I just had a little crackage here, and then I don't know how well y'all can see this. Yeah, there you go. So I folded like this tab, and then I came all the way down, kind of where the factory roll started, kind of folded that in, and just rolled it all the way up to this edge. So then on the driver's side here, or the passenger side here, I went ahead and put fender liner back in. There you go. So it fits pretty good. Like obviously these two tabs, or this tab, there we go. That freaking light is bright. Those two tabs don't have mounts, but I'm not too worried about it. Now there's like freaking dozen other clips. Like I said, probably think ahead and get new clips, because these things, a lot of these did break. Luckily I have some here. So I'm going to, I don't know if I showed y'all the rear whenever I put the fender liners back on. Fender liners are back on the rear as well. I haven't trimmed any of this. Try to get this camera to focus because the freaking light's so bright. But like all this would have been tucked up underneath that lip. So I think I'm gonna leave it because I'm not too worried about if that rubs. It's just gonna rub off or rip the fender liner. I'm not too worried about that. I'm still rocking stock height. Some of you guys that are watching this might be lowered and it might be more of an issue. You're just gonna have to look at your clearances yourself and kind of judge whether or not you want to cut. On the rears, I would be less concerned about leaving the fender liner out. There's not as much exposed, but on the front, it's definitely advisable to leave a fender liner, especially because of this. Even if you could just leave like a certain portion, because there's just a lot of open holes and spaces that dirt and grime can hold and stick, and especially your headlight. So I'm gonna finish putting this back together and we'll put it back on the ground and show you all the finished product. So be back in a minute. Kind of hard to tell from the outside here, but you can tell, like, yeah, there, that kind of pushes out. All right, guys, got all that finished up, wrapped up. I didn't pushed the fender out as far as I probably could have. I'm still rocking stock height, so I don't think it's going to be that much of an issue. I was able to get it all folded up away, so I know the front tires tuck in more whenever it hits a bump, like the top of the tire goes in. The back side, the rears don't tend to tuck in, they tend to come straight up. But hopefully that fixes my rubbing issue. At least the sharp edge is gone, so if it does rub, it's not going to cut into the tire as bad. But I think that's going to do it for now. Be sure to hit the like button on this video, subscribe. Links to our Instagram are going to be down in the description. Until next time.